So here's my equal sign. What goes on the left side of the equal sign?
Left side of the equal sign.
Yes.
The left side of the equal sign.
So the first angle goes on the left side of the equal sign, angle 1. What is angle 1?
Angle 1 is 34.
Okay. And angle 2, which is equal to it, goes on the right. What is angle 2?
X minus 7.
All right. Are you able to solve this equation for me?
Yeah. X minus 7, it is negative 7.
How do you get x by itself? How do you undo subtraction by 7?
Addition.
What are you going to add to both sides of the equation?
7.
Okay. So what is the final answer for x? What does x equal?
Okay, I got it. 41.
41. Perfect. All right, let's take a look at another question here. It's very similar.
So that is the answer, 41, right?
Yes. All right, so I'm going to copy the instructions down because they're actually the same for both of these. Slip this in. All right, so the same instructions here. It says BD is this ray right here. BD bisects, that means cuts in half, angle ABC.
Okay,
ABC.
all right.
Okay, so an angle bisector means that the angles are congruent.
Okay.
So what equation should we write over here on this side of the screen? What is angle 1?
Angle 1.
Yes.
Angle 1 is 3x minus 7, and then 20. 20 is angle 2. For that, you should subtract both. For that, you should subtract both sides with
what number?
I'm thinking. Can you go back up to number 1? Let me just see. Okay, you can go back down. Negative 7.
Okay, so is this what you mean?
Add.
Add
It's
7. Add 7.
That right there. That is going to be 3x equals 27.
Okay.
All right.
Doing great. What is the next step? How do you get x by itself?
X by itself. Well, you should divide
Divide by what?
by 3, and then you can get ourselves x equals 9.
X equals 9. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. All right. So we're gonna this actually looks like a pretty good worksheet for us to work through. So we're gonna talk about complementary and supplementary angles.
Okay.
All right, so this is like a fill in the blank for you. Two angles are complementary if their sum, that means what they add up to. What is the sum of two complementary angles?
So 2 complementary angles.
Yes. What do two complementary angles add up to?
Okay, let me see. What 2 angles are complementary? If your sum is 180 degrees.
That's supplementary. We'll get to that.
A 90.
90 degrees. Good. Okay. And each angle is called the complement of the other.
Yep.
All right. So this is just review. We've seen this. So let's do a problem here. I just got to grab 2 snips. Okay, so here's an angle. And then here is an equation that we're going to write.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so angle A plus angle B And if they're complements, what do they add up to?
All right. So it equals a C.
No, what do they add up to if they're complements?
The complements. They add up to 90.
They add up to 90. Now, do we know the value of A in this problem?
It is 67.
It's 67. So we're going to write 67 plus B equals 90. How do we solve this equation for B?
How do we solve this equation for B?
Yes.
This equation for B. But you have to just subtract
What do you subtract from both
90
sides?
minus 67, then you can get yourself the answer.
Okay. So what is the answer for B? What does B equal?
$23.
23. Perfect. All right. Now the related question here, we're going to kind of do the same thing. So if I give you another angle, and we're going to write the equation again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So A plus B. Now, if they are complementary, what does it add up to?
What do we add up to?
Yep. If they're complementary, what does it add up to? What do the two angles add up to?
I add them 90 degrees.
Up to 90 degrees. Do we know the value of A,
You
or do
should
we know?
subtract 90 minus 23.
So B is 23 in this problem. Like you
Mhm.
just said, subtract 23 from both sides. A is 67 degrees.
Yep.
All right. So a little more review, but I think this is a good use of our time. We're gonna really get these concepts down. Okay, so the other one is two angles are supplementary if their sum is what? You already said this. What do they add up to if they're supplementary?
What do we add up to if they're summary if they're supplementary?
Yes. And you already told me this earlier, but I told you, nope,
If they're supplementary, they're 180.
they're 180 degrees. Perfect. Okay.
Each angle is called the supplement.
Supplement exactly of each other. All right. So here is another angle. So there's an angle, and then we want to write the equation. I want to put that on here onto the right. So angle A plus angle B, if they're supplementary, what do they add up to?
What do they add up to?
Yes, what did they add up to?
Those things right there, they have to add up to 180. So you have to
That's right.
subtract 180 minus 143.
Yes, because A is 143 degrees plus B equals 180. Subtract 143 from both sides of the equation. So what does B equal? What is 180 minus 43?
Okay, B for there, and that is going to be equal to 73.
Try again.
I mean, sorry about that. 37.
37 degrees. Perfect. Okay. Very good. All right. So now let's talk about vertical angles.
Okay.
All right. Just going to grab a snip here. We'll get started. Have you been doing anything fun in physical science?
I don't know. Yeah. Motion.
Motion. Cool. Cool. All right. So these are two lines. They intersect at this point right here, and they're telling you that this angle on the left is 42 degrees.
Mhm.
Okay. Which is the vertical angle that's associated with 42 degrees? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
1, 2, or 3 for that right there. So needs 1 at the start.
Nope. Two is the vertical angle.
Oh, wait, we have to match them, right?
Yeah, like you can think of these being matched.
Okay.
So what is the measure of angle 2 if they're vertical angles? What did we say last time? Vertical angles are
Vertical angles. Vertical angles. They vertical angles are congruent.
congruent. Very good. And
I
thought I
guess the
was,
correct.
well, I think I told you last time, I said, hey, I'm going to ask you this at the start of the next lesson. And I took 15 minutes or 16 minutes and finally asked you. So the measure of angle 2 has to be the same as this other angle. So what is the measure of angle 2?
What is the angle of a measurement 2? The angle of measurement 2 right there, those are congruent angles, I would say.
They are, but what is the number? What is the measure of the angle?
1,
No, it has to be the same as this. What's the measure of this angle over here on the left?
42,
So what is the measure of angle 2?
42.
42. Now I'm gonna just kind of separate this drawing a little bit. Here is 42 degrees, and here is the measure of angle 1. Do you see kind of where I came up, how I made that drawing?
Mhm.
Do you see that? I made this sort of this top half of the drawing. So this angle right here, I'm going to call it A for the moment. I know it's angle 1. A and 42 are supplementary. What do they add up to if they are supplementary?
If they're supplementary,
Yes, what do they add up to if they are supplementary?
180
All right, excellent. So can you solve this equation for A?
for A.
Yes.
For okay, 180 minus 42. I know what that is. 138.
A is 138 degrees. Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, so this one up here is 138 degrees. So what is the angle down here?
What is the angle down there?
Yes, it's vertical to the 138. It's the matched angle for the
Mhm.
138.
Yeah.
So what is its angle measure?
What is this angle measure? The angle measure for that right there is what it is.
Vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles are congruent. They're matched.
Okay.
So if they're congruent, what must be the measure down here?
What must be the measure down there?
Yes.
That is gonna be 3.
No. 100,
Sorry.
138 degrees.
Yeah, I'm just sorry about that.
That's okay. We're gonna do something different here because I want to. This is somehow you're overthinking this for whatever reason. So let's just say that this is 50 degrees, this is 130 degrees, and this is 50 degrees, and this is 130 degrees.
Okay. So all right.
So what do you notice about this drawing? Which two numbers are the same?
50 and 50.
And what's the other one?
130 and 130.
Okay, so the 130 and the 130, they're matched. They're vertical angles.
And because they're vertical angles.
Okay, and the same with the 50 and the 50, they're matched.
Vertical angles.
They're matched vertical angles. Now let's make another drawing here. Here's another line and then another line. And let's go 120 degrees, 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 60 degrees.
Those are all the same.
They're not all the same. The 120 is not the same as 60.
Well, I was saying the same for 120 to 120 and 60 to 60.
You're right. So 120 and 120 are vertical angles. What about 60 and 60? Are they vertical angles?
Yes.
They are vertical angles. Okay. Let me try another thing here. This is 123 degrees. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Which angle is also 123 degrees?
Which angle is also 120 degrees?
Yes. Which angle is exactly the same as 123 degrees? Is it A?
B.
It is B. So B is 123 degrees. Now, 123 and A are supplementary. What do they add up to? If there's,
180.
they add up to 180. Okay, so can you solve this for A for me, please?
Mm-hmm. 57.
A is 57 degrees. Okay,
Yep.
so which angle is also 57 degrees? Which letter is also 57 degrees?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, which letter is also 57 degrees?
Which is 57 degrees C.
C.
And then you have to, and then for those things, those are complementary angles.
Not complementary, they're vertical angles. They're vertical angles. Vertical angles.
Well, I was saying that they're like okay, yeah.
So that's the problem in this class is you have to be very specific with your language. Now, in these last three examples, do you see that there's only ever two numbers because they're duplicated? Two numbers, they're duplicated, two numbers, and they're duplicated.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try another one here. Let's try, so give this for you to work out. This is 30 degrees. This is A, this is B, and this is C. I want you to come up with the measure of angle B. Then I want you to tell me the measure of angle A, and then the measure of angle C. I want three numbers from you, please.
Okay. Okay. So okay. 30 degrees. Okay, okay. So MB is 30 degrees.
Measure of angle B.
30 degrees. And for A right there, I'm gonna guess that is gonna be 180.
It is not 180. You don't have to guess. You have to do exactly what we did in the last problem. What did we do in the last problem to find A?
Oh, we should add up to 180. But what do we need to add up in A?
What is the
180 and what?
what is the only other angle? What is the only other angle in this picture that's given?
C.
No, the number. What is the only other number that's given?
30, 30,
30. 30. So there's your answer.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. 180 minus 30. I know that. I'm thinking.
It might help to write it down.
150.
It is 150. Good. Now you have to say the measure of angle A. Have you taken a language class like Spanish or something else in school yet?
I only take grammar.
Okay. So when you're learning a foreign language, you have to say it a certain way. So you can't say MC, you have to say the measure of angle C, the measure of
The
angle
measure
C.
of angle C. All right. The measure of angle C. That is 150.
It is not 150.
Oh, wait, you should do the exact same thing for 180 and to 150.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It is 150. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong area.
Well, what happened?
You got it. You
You
got it.
didn't even know?
Uh, well, sometimes I don't look as carefully as I should. So let's do another problem here. Let's say that this is 105 degrees. And this is A, and this is B, and this is C. I want you to find the measure of angle A, the measure of angle B, and the measure of angle C for me, please. If you get this right, we'll move on to some new problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is over A, it's 105, 105.
Okay,
And
agreed.
then you should do 180 minus 105 to get yourselves to the B.
Good.
180 minus 105. 75,
Good. And how about angle C?
75.
Good. Very good. Okay.
Ah,
All right. So this next problem is most similar to what you had for homework the other night. It's based on your understanding of vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent. Vertical angles are always congruent. The two angles that are given, what kind of angles are they?
what angles are they? They're vertical angles.
Vertical angles, and vertical angles are
Vertical angles are congruent.
congruent. So what do you put to the left of the equal sign?
Left of the equal sign.
Yes.
And what do you think you put in the left of the equal side? Okay, so equal side 2t.
Okay, 2t
Oh,
plus 11, that's fine. How about on
yep,
the right
equals
side?
4t minus 3. And for that right there, for that, you should subtract both sides by.
Let's subtract 2t from both sides to start. So on the
Okay.
left, it's 11. On the right, how many t's do you have after you do 14 minus 2t?
Okay, so we have to always start with the subtraction with the number at the beginning.
No, not always. I'm just trying to help you out here
All
because
right,
this
11, yeah, okay. It's all right, 11 equals -2,
it's 2t.
2t minus 3.
3.
Mhm.
Okay. And then what's the next step?
The next step, the next step is you need to now do +3 and +3.
Okay.
14 equals 2t. 14 equals 2t minus 8.
No, you've got t is being multiplied by 2.
Okay. Okay. 2 is multiplied by 2. 11 plus 3, 12, 13, 14. 14.
Right? And now it's 14 equals 2t.
And then you get to divide. Then you can get yourself 7.
Divide by 2, so t equals 7. Okay, now what these problems are not having you do, which is very important, I need you to put t back into this equation. Okay, so to do that, you're going to substitute in wherever you see a t, you're going to substitute in 7. What is 2 times 7 plus 11?
Plus 11.
Yes.
Okay. 2 7 plus 11. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 11, and that is 25.
25. Okay, so if we go back to our original drawing up here, I'm going to redraw it. Actually, I'll just paste the snip again. So this right here on the right, this is actually 25 degrees. What is the angle measure over here on the left?
Okay, so what goes for, okay, 25 and that for so it equals 25, x equals 25.
This other angle over here is 25 degrees. How about
Yep.
angle A? What is the measure of
And
angle
you have
A?
to do with 180.
Okay, so can you do that for me?
Yep, 25 minus 180 minus 25. 155, and then yeah.
Okay, so measure of angle A is 155. How about angle B?
Mm-hmm.
What is the measure of angle B in this picture?
So and for m equals 155.
Measure of angle B is 155 degrees. Very good.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a 2-minute break, and you can just rest or close your eyes or whatever. But let's take 2 minutes. I'll check back with you at 7:33. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Sourish, I'm back.
Okay.
Let's put in another good 7 minutes here at least and see where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so new problem here.
Mm-hmm.
This right here on the bottom is what's called a line, a straight line. A straight line has a measure of 180 degrees.
The measure of 180 degrees.
Yeah. So like you can think of this on the left as being like A and this on the right as being B. What do A plus B have to add up to if they're supplementary? They're supplementary now.
Mm-hmm.
What do they add up to?
What do they add up to?
Yes.
Okay. So those things they add up to 180 degrees.
180. So instead of A, we can write this expression here, 50x minus 10. And instead of B, we can write 8x plus 16 equals 180. So this is like why you had your algebra review. And do you recall combining like terms?
Yeah.
What is 50x plus 8x?
50x plus 8x, 58. 58.
58x, okay.
And 10,
minus 10, not 10, minus 10.
negative 10 plus 16. That
Yes,
is going to be 6.
it is plus 6.
Mm-hmm.
So to solve this equation, you would subtract 6 from both sides of the equation. And that
Okay.
gives you 174. 58x equals 174.
All right. And then you should divide.
Should divide both sides by 58.
Mhm.
So what does x equal? It does work perfectly. What do you have a guess what you think it equals?
What does it equal?
Yes. And if you got a calculator handy, you're welcome to use that.
Three.
Perfect. X equals 3. Now let's go back to the original problem here. I'm actually going to copy it down. Okay, so we know now that X is equal to 3. Okay. Do you want us to find this angle on the right or this angle on the left? Which one is easier for you?
Which one is easier for me?
Yeah, which one looks easier?
Which one is easier? No, which one is easier? Well, this is easier, as I remember.
Which one? The one on the left or the one on the right? We're going to
The
substitute
one
3.
on the left.
Okay, so we're going to take this 3 and we're going to put it in for X. 50 times 3 minus 10. What is that angle measure?
Yep, I know that. 150 minus 10. 140.
140 degrees. What is this angle measure over here to the right? What do the two angles have to add up to?
These two angles have to add up to 180.
That's right. So this is 40 degrees. So the question is, if you put 3 in this other equation, do you get 40 degrees? Well, let's find out. 8 times 3 plus 16. What is 8 times 3?
24.
Plus 16 is 40.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one review problem here. We've done a bunch of these tonight, so this should go fairly quickly. All right, if you can get these all right, maybe this can be our last problem for tonight.
How was your tutoring?
So finding integral M1, V1.
This just means the measure of angle 1, measure of angle 2, measure of angle 3, but we've done a bunch
Measure
of
of
problems.
angle 1, I would say, right?
Yes, measure of
Okay.
angle 1.
Measure of angle 1. For that right there, you should use the exact same.
Now, I want you to tell me what 3 numbers go here. Now, I'm going to scroll up because we did a bunch of problems just like this, okay? We did this problem, it was just like it. We did this problem before, which is just like it. Same with this one here. What kind of angles were these that we were dealing with?
Mhm.
Vertical angles. So let's go look at your problem. Which angle is the same as 102 degrees?
It's the same with 102 degrees.
Yes. Is it 1, 2, or 3?
Is it 1, 2, or 3? Okay, so for 1 right there, for 1, what I told you, it's 78.
Agreed?
78, and then for 3, measure angle 3. The measure of 3, it is 78 too.
Agreed.
Okay. And measure of 2, 102.
Very good. All right. We have some time left. We could stop here.
Yeah,
could
we
do
can stop here for today.
All right. Will you let your dad know we're all done and ask him if he wants any feedback for tonight's lesson?
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah.